Last week I asked you all a simple question. What is the one weed on your property that you just cannot get rid of no matter what you do? And my goodness, you did not hold back. The comments came pouring in, and one name kept showing up over and over and over again. Poison ivy. Somebody wrote that they have been fighting the same patch for 11 years. Another said it sent her husband to urgent care twice in one summer. One of you even said you would rather wrestle a raccoon than touch that plant again. So today, we are going to settle this once and for all. I spent my whole life working the land, and I'm going to show you exactly how to identify poison ivy, why it keeps coming back, and a method that actually works to get rid of it for good.
Stay with me until the end, because the last part is where most people make the mistake that lands them covered in blisters. Now, before you can fight this plant, you have to be able to find it, and here is the problem. Poison ivy is a shapeshifter. Everybody knows the old rhyme, leaves of three, let it be. But I will tell you the truth. Most folks who think they can spot poison ivy cannot do it reliably, and that is exactly how they end up itching for 2 weeks straight. In the spring, the new leaves come out shiny and reddish, and people think they look harmless, even pretty. In the summer, the leaves turn green and waxy, and blend right into everything else along your fence line. In the fall, they turn a beautiful red and orange, so beautiful that people walk right up and admire them. And in the winter, the leaves drop off completely, but the bare stems and those little clusters of white berries are still fully toxic, every bit as dangerous as they were in July. This plant does not take a season off, and neither should you. And here is what makes it even trickier. Plenty of harmless plants have 3 leaflets too. Wild raspberry has 3 leaflets with serrated edges. Blackberry, same story. Young Virginia creeper usually has 5 leaflets, but new growth sometimes shows only 3, and it fools people constantly. Box elder seedlings, 3 leaflets, completely harmless. So how do you tell the real thing apart? Look at the middle leaflet. On poison ivy, that center leaflet sits on a slightly longer stem than the 2 side ones. The edges of the leaves can be smooth, or a little toothed, or even lobed, which is why no single rhyme will save you. You learn this plant by studying it, or you learn it the hard way. Now, there is one more identification trick, and this one works even in the dead of winter. When poison ivy climbs a tree, it grips the bark with hundreds of tiny fibrous rootlets, and the whole vine ends up looking hairy, like a thick furry rope running up the trunk. Old-timers have a saying for that one too, hairy rope. Don't be a dope. If you see a hairy vine climbing a tree on your property, do not touch it, do not lean on it, and whatever you do, do not cut it down with bare hands, because that vine is loaded. So why is this plant so miserable to deal with? One word, Urushiol. That is the oil poison ivy produces, and it is in every single part of the plant. The leaves, the stems, the roots, the berries, in every season including winter. And this stuff is unbelievably potent. An amount that fits on the head of a pin is enough to cause a reaction in 500 people. 500. It is also incredibly stable. Scientists have found Urushiol on dried plant specimens in museums over 100 years old, still capable of causing a rash. It transfers to your gloves, your tools, your boots, your clothes, and yes, your dog. Dogs do not react to it, so your dog runs through a patch, comes inside happy as can be. You pet him, you rub your eye, and 3 days later you are wondering where on earth that rash came from. The dog did not get you, the oil on the dog got you. And that is the cruelest part of this whole thing. You never feel it happening. There is no sting, no burn, no warning. The oil sits on your skin silently while you eat lunch, scratch your nose, and go about your day. And the reaction does not show up for 12 hours to several days. By then, you have spread it everywhere. The first exposure often causes little or no reaction at all, which gives people false confidence. But each exposure after that tends to get worse, and some folks who were immune for years suddenly develop severe reactions later in life. The rash itself brings intense itching, redness, swelling, and fluid-filled blisters. And while the blister fluid does not spread it, any oil still sitting on your skin or your clothes absolutely will. Now, before I tell you how to get rid of it, let me tell you how you must never, ever get rid of it. because this part can genuinely save your life. Never burn poison ivy. I will say it again, never burn it. Burning releases urushiol into the smoke, and breathing that smoke delivers the oil straight into your lungs and airways. People have been hospitalized, and people have died. If your neighbor is burning brush that has poison ivy in it, get upwind and get away. Never take a string trimmer to it either, because a weed whacker turns the plant into a fine mist of urushiol that lands on your skin, in your eyes, and in your lungs. Same goes for mowing over a patch in the open. And do not compost it, because the oil survives in dead plant material for years, and all you are doing is building a concentrated pile of misery to spread around your garden later. Dead poison ivy is still dangerous poison ivy. In fact, it is worse, because the brown, withered leaves are harder to spot. The only place this plant belongs is inside a heavy contractor bag, headed for yard waste disposal. Now, what about all the home remedies? Boiling water poured on the plant and the root zone will kill the top growth in a small area, but it will not reach a deep root system, and it kills everything else in that spot too. Strong horticultural vinegar, the 20% kind, not the 5% from your kitchen, will burn the leaves on a sunny day. But again, it does not touch the roots. A mix of 1 cup of salt, a tablespoon of dish soap, and a gallon of water sprayed in direct sun will dry out the leaves, top growth only. Smothering a patch under heavy black plastic or thick cardboard for a full growing season actually works reasonably well, but you are committing to a year, and the dead material underneath still carries the oil. My honest assessment, all of these can set the plant back, but none of them reliably kill an established root system. They work best on young plants caught early. The store-bought sprays are the same story. The 2 active ingredients you will see are glyphosate and tricloper. And tricloper is what the professionals prefer for woody vines like poison ivy. Timing matters. Late spring, when the plant is fully leafed out, is the best window, because the plant is drawing nutrients down into the roots, and it carries the herbicide down with it. Fall just before leaf drop works for the same reason. But here is the truth nobody prints on the bottle. There is no single application solution. That root system can stretch several feet beyond anything you can see. You spray it once, the top dies, you think you have won, and 6 weeks later it is back waving at you. Chemicals are a multi-season commitment where the goal is simply to exhaust the plant until it gives up. And one more thing, those sprays kill everything they touch, including the flowers your bees and pollinators depend on, which is why I will not use them anywhere near my garden beds. So what actually works? You pull it out of the ground, roots and all, and you gear up like you mean it. Long pants tucked into tall socks, long sleeves, and here is a trick I love. Take a pair of old long socks, cut the toes off, cut a small thumb hole and wear them over your forearms, because gloves and sleeves always leave a gap at the wrist, and that is exactly where the blisters show up. Wear waterproof gloves and double glove, so if the outer one rips you still have protection, and so you can peel the dirty outer glove off with a clean hand underneath when you are done. Cover your face with a bandana, not just for the flying dirt, but because it is human nature to touch your face, and with that cover on, you cannot. Wrap your tool handles in plastic, so you can just cut the plastic off and throw it away afterward. Line a trash barrel with a bag folded all the way down the outside, so at the end you can close it up without touching the dirty rim. And when the work is done, decontaminate in the right order, outer gloves off first, then the suit or outer clothes peeled off inside out, face cover last, and wash your hands, your tools, and everything else with a strong degreasing soap. There is a special soap called Technu made for exactly this, but dish soap that cuts grease works in a pinch. And here is the detail almost everybody gets wrong. Use cold water first. Hot water opens up your pores and drives the oil deeper into your skin. Cold water, soap, scrub, then rinse. One last thing before you go. Poison ivy is actually a native plant, and those white berries feed dozens of bird species through the winter. The birds eat them with no reaction at all, and then Plant new poison ivy all over your property, which is exactly why it keeps coming back year after year. The plant is not evil. It just does not belong where your children play barefoot. So the goal is not total eradication. It is keeping it out of the spaces where your family lives and moves. And now you know exactly how to do that. If this video helped you, do me a small favor and hit that subscribe button. It truly helps this channel more than you know. And I want to hear from you down in the comments. Tell me where you are watching from, and tell me the one gardening problem you want me to solve in the next video. Because just like today, your comments decide what we make next. Thank you kindly for spending this time with me. And whatever you are growing this season, grow it well.